You're watching Valley Vision TV on Comcast Channel 7.
Maroons action. Tonight on August 30th, we're going to take a look at some of our fall sports as well as look back at a spring sport that we didn't quite close out, men's lacrosse. Our first guest tonight will be men's lacrosse coach Bill Pilot. We'll also be joined by men's soccer coach Scott Allison, women's soccer coach Phil Benny, field hockey coach Brianna Banks, volleyball coach Blair Trail, and strength and conditioning coach Dave Sampson with our meets of the week. Richmond, what do you say you lead us off tonight?
All right. Randolph-Macon College and Washington Lee University sit tied atop the 2011 ODAC volleyball preseason poll, with each school earning 5 first-place votes and 95 total points following the annual survey of the league's coaches. Roanoke is picked 5th of the 11-team poll. The Maroons finished the 2010 season winning 7 of their final 10 matches before falling to Lynchburg in their first round of the ODAC tournament. Returning for the Maroons is senior outside hitter Kelsey Largen. Largen finished the season second on the team in kills with 224 and third in service aces and digs. Also returning this fall are senior middle Rachel Hawkins and junior Shannon Stone, who returns as the lead setter.
The Roanoke College Maroons are picked 6 in the ODAC field hockey preseason poll announced last Wednesday afternoon. Lynchburg are in the top billing, gaining 8 of 9 first-place votes. Roanoke enjoys the return of its all-conference selection from 2010. All-ODAC second-team midfielder Lee Sheldon, who had a goal and 3 assists, along with 8 defensive saves. Goalkeeper Tina Shickaloni, who has been spectacular throughout her 3-year career at Roanoke, returns to her familiar post, leading alongside Liana Hackborn, who had 5 goals last year, who's back in Salem for her second season.
Now, for the third time in as many seasons, 4 teams received first-place consideration in the ODAC men's soccer preseason poll. Lynchburg College, winner of the past 2 ODAC titles, sits atop the list after earning 5 first-place votes towards 94 poll points. Virginia Wesleyan College is second with 87 tallies and 2 top votes, with just 2 points clear of Roanoke College, which also received a first-place vote. Hampton City College collected the 3 remaining first-place votes on the way to 76 points. Roanoke welcomes back midfielder Chris Conover after earning second-team accolades and dishing out 4 assists this season. Or last season, rather. Jordan Troyer returns for his senior season, adding extra help in the midfield, and captain Andrew Howe and goalkeeper Avery Makel look to continue the Maroons' history of strong defensive units.
And the Maroons were picked 4th in the 2011 ODAC women's soccer preseason poll announced last Thursday. Lynchburg is dubbed to win the ODAC once again as the defending champs, hold 8 of the 12 first-place votes. Virginia Wesleyan and Washington Lee are picked 2nd and 3rd, respectively, while Virginia Wesleyan, or rather, Roanoke, will be without the familiar face at midfield, Just Welfare, a 4-year starter for the Maroons. But 3 all-conference players from Salem in 2011 are returning. Second-team All-ODAC choices Becca Adams and Maya Cantor, joined by honorable mention selection midfielder Steph Parento, will look to lead the Maroons back to the ODAC title game for the first time since 2007.
And now stepping back to men's lacrosse. From the end of last season, the men's lacrosse team finished their season 17-4, posting a perfect 7-0 record in conference and advancing to the NCAA tournament semifinals. The Maroons fell in the semifinals to the eventual champion Salisbury College. They finished the year ranked 1st in assists and points, 3rd in scoring offense with 16 per game, and 4th in ground balls per game with 44.8.
4 players were named to the 2011 USILA Division III All-American team. Justin Tuma and Alex Burkhead each earned second-team honors, while Jeff Keating was tagged as a third-teamer. Keeley also received honorable mention recognition. Burkhead, Keeley, and Tuma were also named to the 2011 USILA Scholar Athlete All-American team for men's lacrosse. We'll be right back with the head coach of the Roanoke College men's lacrosse team, Bill Pilot. Welcome back. I'm joined now by Coach Bill Pilot. Coach, your team had an incredible run to the NCAA semifinals last season, a run that a lot of people didn't expect. You guys were counted out since the early part of the season because of the seniors that you lost. Do you think that the doubts helped motivate your boys?
Yeah, I think that propelled them a little bit. They were pretty excited. You know, we have a great reputation here, Roanoke College lacrosse, and we want to uphold that whenever we can. And the bar is set real high. But I think guys kind of took it personal that they didn't like hearing the word rebuilding year and things like that. I think, you know, it kind of pissed them off a little bit. And, you know, as coaches, we didn't talk about it. We just kind of prepare as we went along. But I think the guys knew we had some talent out there, and they wanted to prove it. So I was real glad that they did.
Now, using the term rebuilding year, how is it different for you and your coaching staff standing on the sidelines with a group of freshmen out on defense who are still learning the system as opposed to the year before where you had seniors across the board?
Well, you know, it was a fun year, and I was looking forward to it going into it because, you know, we really love the seniors that were here. We had a bunch of All-Americans and great players and great guys. But, you know, when you get a bunch of freshmen, it's kind of a fresh start. You know, it's a fresh new attitude. And it became, in 2010, it was more of high expectations. We had to live up to those, which is fine. We can do that. But it's a lot more fun, I think, for me as a coach to teach. You know, I like to teach, and we did a lot of teaching last year. And fortunately for us, a lot of guys listened and learned and got better and better. The great thing for us is, as a coach, you know, you always want to be better at the end of the year than the beginning of the year. And obviously we did that. You know, we beat a team that handled us pretty handily at home in the early season, and we beat them at the end. And, of course, there's some luck involved, and that helps too. But just the teaching aspect of me being a teacher and Coach Thomas being a teacher and Coach March and all those guys and Coach Mason, that's just a big, big plus and makes you feel good.
Now, your run all the way to the NCAA Final Four included a one-goal win in the NCAA quarterfinals over Stevenson, where Rich Lackland scored with 14 seconds left, fell to Stevenson 3 straight times before that, including the previous year in the same round. Where does that win stand on your top 10?
Oh, boy, yeah. You know, I've had a lot of great games, great wins, fortunately, in my career, and that's definitely up there. And I told the guys that after the game. That's up there because of the fact that, you know, we were counted out. You know, we were kind of an afterthought that, okay, Final Four is going to be Salisbury and Stevenson again, just like everybody thought. And then to go up there and beat them. And not only that, you know, revenge is a dish best served cold. Everybody knows that saying. And it was a year ago. I mean, we dominated them in 2010, which people didn't expect, but we did. In the playoffs, we dominated them statistically. We really should have beaten them by 4 goals. And then they got a couple lucky breaks and won. Well, it was definitely a complete opposite. In some ways, they dominated us in the quarterfinals, but we came out on top. So it's kind of a nice payback where, you know, for them, that's how it feels to really control a game and lose. So that felt great. And for me, it's definitely in the top. There's been some great wins, and you know, we beat Ithaca to advance to the national championship in '92. That was a great win, and anytime you beat Washington Lee is a great win. You beat them by 9 goals this year. That's a great win, and but that's up there for sure in the top 5 for me.
Now, your team lost All-Americans Trey Keeley, Alex Burkhead, and Justin Tuma, but had a lot of productive seasons from the younger guys in your team that we were talking about earlier. What impact will those 3 seniors' graduations have on this team?
Well, you know, every year we lose great seniors, and we have to replace those guys, and that's the trademark of a great program like we're fortunate to have. And, you know, Tuma's picked up so many ground balls, which is such a huge statistic, but also his leadership on and off the field is going to be missed. And Burkhead, that's the other thing people didn't realize going into Stevenson. We matched up very well. We felt pretty good about our chances. We weren't overconfident, but we weren't afraid because we knew we could use Burkhead to shut down the best player in Division III daily. He's the only guy I think that could do it with his footwork. So you're taking a guy like Burkhead who can shut down virtually anybody. So we lose him. You know, that's a big loss. And Manley's a huge loss. He was a great defensive midfielder and a real gritty player, real Roanoke-style throwback player. And then Noah Gibby went down with injury. He was having a fantastic year. He went down halfway through. He was on an All-American season. And then Trey Keeley is such a potent offensive threat, too, that he's a huge loss as well. So all those guys are going to be hard to replace. We just need to get some young guys up to speed and get them to be able to combine to take their place. When we lose high-quality superstar players like that, it's going to take 1, 2, 3 players to replace them. So that's kind of what we're after. And the team is always bigger than the individual. So if we can get the team concept like we did last year, then we should be fine.
Now, fall ball starts up here in the next couple coming days or weeks. For you to get a chance to kind of look at some guys that you might put on your roster next year, what does your fall ball schedule entail for those freshmen and maybe even some upperclassmen that are coming out trying to make this year's team?
You know, fall ball is great for us. It's really fun. It's a great way. The number one goal for the coaches is to get the players, first of all, to learn the Roanoke system. You know, how we stretch, what type of tempo we want to see in practice, what type of effort we want to see in practice, and then our system of how we play up-tempo lacrosse and pressure defense. And number two is we want to integrate the younger freshmen with the older guys on the team. So we want the freshmen to bond together as get to know each other, their future teammates, and then we want the older guys to bond with the freshmen and kind of show them the way we do things here in terms of hard work on the field and also hard work in the classroom. So it's a double-pronged approach where we want guys off to a good start in the classroom and also off to a good start in the field. And we just kind of go 4 days a week. We're only allowed 16 practices, so we go 4 days a week for 4 weeks. And then we're finished with our maroon-white exhibition game. We never play outside competition because we like to focus on Roanoke lacrosse. We don't like to worry about another opponent and scouting reports and game plans and stuff like that. So, and then we've got to make some cuts and things like that. We've got a lot of guys trying out. That's always difficult because there's so many talented players that come here and want to play. And so we're looking for effort and we're looking for positions. You know, the real need we have is a face-off guy, so we're going to look hard for a face-off guy. And I've brought Billy Cameron, you know, former All-American. He's going to come in fall, and his specific duty is to help us find and make some face-off men. So I've asked him to help us with that, and luckily he's going to do that. So that's another big goal of the fall.
Thanks so much for coming down tonight, Coach. Only 7 months till the season gets going.
Can't wait, Nick.
I'm sure we're all looking forward to it.
Me too.
Richard will be right back with men's soccer coach Scott Allison.
And we're back with men's soccer coach Scott Allison. Coach Allison, your team finished 13-3-3 last season, but lost in the first round of the ODAC tournament in penalty kicks. Now your team was picked third in the ODAC poll this year. What are your expectations for the team going into the season?
We're going to be in a hunt. It's a good group. I think they're working hard. They believe in each other. We've got a good mixture of new kids coming in and solid returnees. And yeah, I certainly think we're in a hunt, and we should be among the top teams in the ODAC again.
Okay. Now, as you said, you have a lot of key players returning this year, including Andrew Howe and goalkeeper Avery Makel. What can we look forward to out of the returning players this year?
Well, certainly their time to step up. In addition to Andrew and Avery, Chris Conover, who was the second-team All-ODAC selection, you know, we've moved him out of central midfield into the back, and he's as good as anybody in the league as a presence, and we're pleased to have him. And Chris Vale, who didn't, you know, as a freshman didn't play a lot, but I mean, he shows a heck of a lot of promise playing as a center back, and you know, we're counting on big things from him. Johnny Hughes is a sophomore. He was a bit hobbled last year. He sat out some games. He had some injuries, but he's as technical as anybody in the league. Drew Clater's a senior, a quality player, and has played a lot for us these past 3 years. I mean, Peyton Lambert's playing left back. I mean, Carl Lease, we've moved him from center forward to right back, and we've made some adjustments. We're excited about what this group brings to the table. You know, we're pleased. Right now, we're undefeated.
Now you have a good number of incoming freshmen on the squad. What kind of role do you expect them to play, and is there anyone in the first week or so of practice that's really stood out?
You know, in addition to freshmen, you know, we're blessed at the Division III level to be able to find a transfer or two that could come in and make an impact in your program. We have two kids. First and foremost is Patrick Bain, and he's a special player. He's as good as anybody I've had in a long while. He can play anywhere on the field. He's more adept at attacking than I thought he was, and he's really going to make an impact on the ODAC this year. And Mark Strelo, who played sparingly at CNU, and as a freshman, I think he's coming in. He transferred in as a sophomore, and you know, I think he's going to be a quality player for us as well. I mean, he's certainly going to be in a rotation of players that fill up our roster and play and contribute. And those two guys are, I think, are going to make their mark here at Roanoke College. In addition to that, we have a freshman named Jake Shore that is as good of a freshman as we've had for a while. He's from Pennsylvania, and he's fast, he's quick, he's good on the ball. Good player.
Good. All right, Coach. I've been on campus for about 2 weeks now. I'm new to Roanoke College, new to Salem. Some of our new viewers with Valley Vision that we've joined up with this year might also not be as familiar with the program. So as athletic director, can you sell me on Roanoke athletics and kind of talk about what really makes this place special?
Geez. What really makes this place special is I think the stories of the kids behind all the programs. I think that we have quality players that play at this level. I really think they're outstanding young men and women that really make a difference at Roanoke College. A lot of them could play at the highest level, but have chose their education first, have chose the lifestyle first, realizing that to chase a dream that really wasn't going to lead to much but anything more than the degree. They're kind of wised up and went the Division III route, and have really embraced Roanoke College and NCAA Division III athletics as a place to grow as a person and as a place to make an impact on not only the campus but the community. There's just a lot of quality people, a lot of good stories.
Sure. Well, Coach, we appreciate having you on the show with us tonight, and I will be right back with women's soccer coach Phil Benny.
Great. Thank you.
Back with Coach Phil Benny, the women's soccer coach. Coach, last season your team finished with an impressive 13-4-3 record, but fell to Virginia Wesleyan 4-1 in the semifinals of the ODAC tournament. How do you look to improve from last season with the team that you have coming in this year?
Yeah, I mean, last year was a tremendous year. I mean, went undefeated in the ODAC regular season, which is a tall order in the ODAC. So with the group we got up coming back, we lost, five seniors, 5 starters, and so we've had a good week of practice. Everyone came in fit, so I see us taking a step, being able to maybe not duplicate what we did last year, but still, we're going to be pretty strong. I like the group we have.
Good. Now you graduated 4 seniors last year, including goalkeeper Lindsay Koyman and Jessica Welfare. What players are you expecting to step up this year and take a major leadership role in the team?
Yeah, I mean, you always look for the rising seniors to step in and do what they can. Jamie Johnson's, and we actually have Lauren Schwartz, who also took a year off, and she's another one of our seniors. So, they're stepping up in those positions on the field and off the field, which is important. Then we got a great group of juniors right behind them that also do a lot of help out with the leadership, and there's some opportunities with all those seniors leading from the last year. There's opportunities for them to step in and really have opportunity to shine.
Now on the other side, you've been back at practice for about a week now. How do the freshmen look? How does the incoming class look to kind of fill roles on the team this year?
I'm very happy with our freshman class. We just had our second scrimmage a couple hours ago, and I think we're going to have some freshmen that are really going to step into some roles. Most notably, right now we have Carolyn Sarbacher probably going to start in goal with the freshmen, which is huge. And then we're also going to, we got a couple other freshmen that are going to step in the back and up top. So got a great group overall. Everyone came in fit, so that's a huge thing because we don't have a huge preseason, and top to bottom, I'm happy where we're at right now.
Good, and we're going to see them in action Saturday against Birmingham Southern in Lynchburg. What is it about this season that the fans should be looking forward to with this team?
We have a tremendous schedule: Birmingham Southern, University of South, and then we come home, host Emory, Salisbury. So right there we got tremendous teams coming in. We're playing against a lot of good talent, and but what I really like, I think we're more athletic and probably got more speed as a unit than we've had in a long time.
All right, Coach, we appreciate having you on the show tonight.
Thank you, Richard.
I will be back with Brianna Banks, the field hockey coach. Back here with head field hockey coach Brianna Banks. Coach, you graduated 3 players last year. Can you tell us about some of the players that you kind of expect to step up and take those roles on?
Although I graduated 3, I still have 9 returning starters, so I'm really looking forward to pretty much an experienced team coming back. They gained a lot of knowledge within the past year, and they really worked on their individual skills, so I believe that my upperclassmen, I have 4 that are seniors that are going to be starting this year, and so I'm just looking for them for that leadership on the field to continue with the success.
With an incoming class of about 9 freshmen, are there players that you can see in that freshman class starting to fill in some roles where they're needed? Yeah.
This year I was very, very fortunate. I was able to get 2 international girls, both from the Netherlands, and not sure if anybody knows field hockey, but the Dutch have it in their blood. So I am so lucky to be able to have them on our team. With that, I believe they're really, really going to help us out all over the field. One is going to step in and be a starter immediately, Alexa Noon. So I'm really looking forward to her, making that adjustment. But I'm also looking forward to, out of the 9, 10 freshmen that I have, 5 are definitely going to see a lot of playing time this year. So I'm excited to see them.
Now, what will be some of the aspects of the team will need to focus on this year to have a successful season?
The thing we lacked the most last year was our team chemistry and our individual skills. Last year we worked a lot on our individual skills. In the spring we really focused on just making sure that we got everything down as far as technique-wise. So what I need for us to focus on this year is our team chemistry, so that we could actually just put everything together and make sure that we're now one big team instead of just little small teams or individuals on that field.
Great. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you. Nick will be back with Coach Blair Trail, the head volleyball coach.
Joined now by women's volleyball coach Blair Trail. Blair, your team's coming off a 21-7 season. Now, what are your goals coming into this year to try and improve on a good season last year?
Well, we're starting with a very new young team this year. We have 6 freshmen and 6 upperclassmen. So, we're learning day by day. Our goal is to look at each match and see what we can improve on. Of course, we want to win every match, and, our main goal is to win the ODAC. But, we're just going to take it match by match right now.
Now, are there any rising seniors who are already appearing as major leaders on your team?
Yes, we have 3 seniors, Rachel Hawkins and Kelsey Largen, who will lead our offense for us. Rachel Hawkins plays middle hitter and Kelsey Largen outside. And Leah Horn will be joining us, anchoring the defense and looking at a lot of time as libero.
Now, you have some freshmen entering your squad with impressive high school careers. How do you think your incoming players will impact a relatively experienced team already?
They've already made a huge impact. Like I said, they make up half the team. So in practice, they had to come in and fill crucial roles immediately. We look to see many of them on the court right away.
Now you're entering your 13th year here at Roanoke College as the head volleyball coach. Could you talk a little bit about your experience here with the volleyball program and your experience moving forward with these girls on this team?
I've had a very positive, rewarding experience. I've been lucky to work with a lot of very talented young volleyball players that have come from really strong high school and club programs, so I've been lucky in that aspect. Going forward, we still have an ODAC championship to win.
Thanks so much for coming down tonight, Blair. We appreciate it. I'll be right back with Dave Sampson and the meets of the week.
Beautiful is the only way I could describe Roanoke's campus. The Blue Ridge Mountains offer a breathtaking backdrop to historic brick buildings and sprawling walkways. From the moment you step on campus, you can't help but notice Roanoke's friendly atmosphere. The cozy layout of campus encourages a tight-knit sense of community. Walking from my dorm to class takes no more than a few minutes, so getting places is never a hassle in any weather. The traditional architecture of the buildings and arrangement of campus around two main quads gives Roanoke a classic college feel. During any time of year, you can find students hanging out on campus. Roanoke is so comforting and welcoming that it's virtually impossible not to feel at home here. My favorite place on campus is the bench under the bell tower because it's a great place to relax or read a book.
I love the campus here at Roanoke. When I first visited, it felt right to me. It's the way I picture college in my mind. There are lots of classic-looking buildings with big columns, brick paths, and lots of big, old trees. I like the way the older buildings convey a sense of history, and the newer buildings reflect that style, but are more modern. My favorite spot on campus is the front quad in front of the admin building because I really enjoy the open spaces here. During the warmer months, everyone is outside studying, throwing a football around, or just hanging out.
His love for the game, his desire to put his team first and to sacrifice himself to win, and his dangerous killer instinct are all traits few have matched at Roanoke College. Chris Pollock's talents are also on paper. He is one of just 8 Roanoke College men's lacrosse players to be a 3-time All-American selection. He played for 3 coaches, John Puro, Bill Pilot, and Scott Allison.
There's always going to be a little bit of a glitch when you have some coaching changeovers, and he was able to endure through that and still continue to play at a high level. He played attack for John Piro, played midfield for both Bill Pilot and myself, and each year he seemed to be a key player on some good teams.
He's a 3-time All-American, which is pretty rare to do, pretty hard to do. And second, he's the only player in our history that played for 3 coaches. And the important thing there is he excelled under each coach, and that says a lot.
Pollock earned his national honors as a midfielder in 1988, 89, and 1990, as well as a place on the first-team All-Old Dominion Athletic Conference 3 years running. Pollock completed his playing career with 121 points on 62 goals and 59 assists.
At the end of the game, his jersey was probably the dirtiest of anybody's on the field because he gave it all. And he did whatever it had to do, diving for loose balls, hitting guys, running through guys, anything that needed to be done to help the team win. So his intensity and work ethic just kind of permeated the rest of the team and really laid the foundation, for the guys on that '92 team that went to the national championship.
To do so many things well, I think is special in the sport of lacrosse. And Chris, I think, could really do it all. He could catch and throw with the best of them. He was usually the fastest kid on the team. He was a threat offensively. On the defensive end of the field, he was never a liability. And in between the restraining lines, there wasn't anybody any better.
Curtis, it's your ball! Also helped lead the Maroons to the NCAA Division III Final Four in 1988. Upon his graduation, Pollock was the 10th all-time leading scorer in the program's history. A member of 4 Roanoke teams that finished in the top 10 in the rankings, Pollock served as the team captain in 1989 and 1990 and led the team in assists and points during the 1990 campaign. The recipient of the 1990 Paul Griffin Award, Pollock helped the Maroons to 3 Old Dominion Athletic Conference championships and to the NCAA Division III National Tournament twice, in '86 and '88. Chris currently resides in Salem, Virginia with his wife Gay, a 1989 Roanoke grad, and their 4 children, Christopher, Hope, Gray, and Geist. His servant's heart transferred from the field of play to the field of life, building the Rising Stars Sports Camp for kids. He has served as a Maroon assistant coach and also coaches lacrosse for North Cross School.
He's one of those guys that has a standing invite to be an assistant coach any season he wants, with my team, because he's so good with the guys and his knowledge is so strong. And he's just got a positive attitude that really rubs off on the guys, and just enthusiasm for the game and playing it the right way. And we love having him around. In the years he did help, he was instrumental in our success. And he's a guy I'd have back in a second.
Like a lot of us, I think Chris feels in some way indebted to the college for helping him become the person that he is. And I certainly feel that way, and I know a lot of my friends feel that way. And Chris kind of exudes that. He reminds me a lot of Bruce Mann in that he's the kind of guy that's walking down the hill every time we have an event, and always checking in with us and making sure everybody's doing okay and saying hello. He's just a big part of the Roanoke College family.
Chris is definitely deserving of this high honor, and he deserves it because he worked his butt off every day in practice and in games, and he loves Roanoke College, and he's a big part of our lacrosse tradition, which is rich and strong. And he's a big part of that, and he's the guy we love, and he embodies Roanoke College lacrosse: hard-nosed, play hard, play with respect, and leave it all on the field. And that's what we want out of our guys, and that's what Chris gave us.
The Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame is proud to call Chris Pollock an integral part of the family.
Welcome back. I'm joined by strength and conditioning coach Dave Sampson. Coach, before we get into your favorite part, and obviously everyone's favorite part of the show, I wanted to kind of ask you a little bit, as a strength and conditioning coach, what you've been doing with some of our fall teams. Men's soccer's been staying out in the field a little bit with you, doing some extra conditioning stuff. What have you been doing with those guys to try and get them ready to make a run at an ODAC championship?
What Coach A has had me out doing is, say, the first 20 minutes of each practice. Generally, the first practice of the day, the one in the morning. We do a lot of sport-specific running, like running on the diagonal, backpedaling, changing directions and stuff like that. Sometimes they're shorter duration, sometimes longer sprints, full field. Most have been doing half field, quarter field, three-quarter field, stuff like that, stuff that mirrors what they do in practice as well as during the game to get them better prepared for the game, for the season.
Would women's soccer be doing essentially the same
absolutely.
activities?
They're doing virtually the identical workouts. So the kids are really into it. Like I say, Coach A's into it, Coach Benny, Coach Martinez, Coach Heyman. All those guys are really excited about it. The players are really excited about it. So it's been a lot of fun getting out there doing their two-a-days in training camp this year.
Now, how about field hockey? What kind of things have you been doing with those girls?
Hey, they've done the same thing. I've had them probably every other day in the preseason, doing the same thing with soccer, doing very sports-specific running, as well as some core work because, like soccer, they do a lot of twists and turns in their movements on the field. So we're trying to mirror that in their conditioning. So we're going generally their first practice a day and getting them acclimated to what it's like during game time situation and actually condition them before, during, and after so they're fatigued while they're doing it.
And specificity. Creasy would be so proud. I remember that from his class.
I don't know. I could say that word. Specificity.
Specificity.
That's,
I learned something in HHP 221. Dr. Creasy, thank you.
Yeah, Creasy.
Now, let's take a look at our meets of the week. But first, women's soccer. Put the slide up. Cindy Sutora and Candace Connolly. Our second group of three girls, Maya Cantor, Becca Adams, and Carmen Graves. Sampson, tell me a little bit about these girls.
Three returners. I was really impressed from top to bottom with the girls on this list right here. All of them showed back in better shape than I have ever seen them before. Really, really impressive. Cindy is totally dialed in. I was out at the scrimmage tonight. The scrimmage a group from New River. I watched the first half of the game. Cindy stuck one in the back of the net, had a really a second shot. It was really close, went just over the crossbar. Really impressed with her. Candace came off the bench, did a great job playing center back. Maya plays the, I think you call it the left back on there, the defender. She does a great job, gets after it. Becca is more of a forward. She plays, I think, center forward. Did a great job controlling the ball, keeping the girl on her back, had some good shots on goal. And Carmen made a big adjustment this year. This is her first game she's done this. She stepped up and took some reps for the first half at center mid, replacing Jess Welfare from last year, which is, those are big shoes to fill.
Absolutely.
A lot to ask from anyone. Carmen, if anybody on that team can do it, she can do it. She's a phenomenal athlete. Came back the first day of testing. Carmen ran, I think she put up like a 5:35 mile time in her test time, which is just, and I'm telling you right now, it's phenomenal. Her last lap, her fourth lap, was faster than any of her laps before. So I was really, really impressed with her. She did a great job for us in soccer last year, as well as track and field. So that's my rundown on those five. Two other dark horses that I have on my list that I want to keep an eye on throughout the year. Jordan May got her first start at, I guess they call it center back tonight, the defender. She did a great job, had some good touches, made good decision. And I look for big things from her. Jamie Johnson also started I think they call it right back. Also a great job. Didn't have a lot of touches tonight. I think it's because she's a little muscled up and the kids were afraid of her.
Now, who are we going to give it to tonight?
This is a tough one. It's a really tough one. Common sense tells me to go with Carmen because she posted such a great test score, but I'm going with Cindy Satora from, I think she's from
New York.
Out on Long Island. She wore a T-shirt out of respect today from Farmingdale out on the island. She's a Dela. So I met some of her, I guess, hometown people down at a camp down I worked at Duke this year. So I'm giving it to Cindy because she is just so dedicated this year. She came in all fired up and did a great job in the scrimmage and stuck one in the back of the net. So thumbs up to Cindy. She's the winner of the first meet of the week this fall for the women's soccer team.
Now moving on, let's take a look at field hockey. Our first graphic tonight for the field hockey team, Lee Sheldon, along with Tina Schiccolone. Now our second two up for meet of the week honors are Mary Pace and Lachelle Pace.
And I'm going to base it on the same grounds. I haven't seen these girls played yet because their only scrimmage was away, so I haven't had the opportunity to see them. I'm very excited about them. Just a point of reference, they had 2 games last Sunday, won both of them. That's a huge step up, a great confidence builder for the Lady Maroons of the field hockey program. But each one of these 4 kids that I named, they're returners, and they return in phenomenal shape. All of them did a great job on their 1.5-mile time. They stepped up big on their 300-yard shuttle times, and they've really been dialed in on their conditioning with me in the morning. So I'm really proud of these girls, and I expect big things from them this year.
Now, out of these 4, Sheldon, Schiccolone, Pace, and Pace squared, if you will, who are we going to give
Pace
it to?
squared, I like that. Incidentally, just kind of a sidebar note, Mary Pace has a new nickname this year.
Uh-oh.
We're going to go with Coco. Coco Pace. We're going to refer to her as Coco. Lachelle, call her Leash, Lachelle, whatever. But Mary Pace, from here on out, is going to be known, even during the introductions, as Coco Pace.
I'm just going off with what I'm given.
She's the heart and soul of the team. She came back in great shape. She's doing a good job. If you know Mary, she's kind of a free spirit. Likes to get after it on and off the field. She's done a great job in conditioning, and I'm giving the first meet of the week for the field hockey girls to Mary Pace.
Looks like she won a couple of them last year, using that shoulder to put some girls down.
She's not afraid of a little contact. That's why I like her. She's a meat.
Last but certainly not least, let's go with men's soccer. Our first two are A.J. Tierce. I know a big Phillies fan who are up 8-0 in the top of the ninth inning.
Yeah, Phils.
Hopefully he's just as happy as I am. Chris Vale is also our second of four. Looking at our next slide, Spencer Martin, along with Robert Finn. A couple guys who most of us, Samson, might not be too familiar with.
Well, I picked these four guys. We did an entire battery of tests with the men's soccer team this year. We came out, we started off with a 1.5 miles. All four of these guys did great in the 1.5 miles. Ran 2 300-yard shuttles, and we also did some weight room testing. And two of the things we tested in the weight room were what was your maximum amount of pull-ups you can do and your maximum amount of dips you can do. And we set kind of a bare bones minimum. You know, we like to see you doing at least 15 pull-ups, and we like to see you doing at least 25 dips. What I told these guys returning and also the freshmen coming in is if you can get both those totals, your push-ups and your dips, your pull-ups and your dips combined, if your totals can get up to 60, then I'm going to call you. You're definitely in the running for meet of the week. I can't see that.
All right, last but not least, Samson, what do we have for volleyball?
I don't know. What do we have
tonight? I'm thinking they got
I know
some
of my
real people
returnals.
coming back.
I know
Rachel
one of my
Hawkins
favorites
is back.
Rachel Hasselhock Hawkins. She's a perennial crowd favorite. So I like her, the way she gets after it, again, in the weight room and on the court. She's a competitor. She goes hard. And
our other two nominees tonight, Shannon Stone and Kelsey Largent.
I was just going to say Kelsey Largent. She's got the most impressive vertical leap of any female I've ever seen on the court. She gets up, she gets after it. Like I think we referred to as the hammer last year. When Kelsey gets the set, 9 times out of 10 it's a kill. 9 times out of 10. I'm excited for the volleyball team this year. I look forward to a successful season. And right off the bat, I'm giving it to Kelsey Largent, the hammer.
All right,
the tsunami, if you will. Let's call her Irene for short.
Too soon? I think not. Those are our meets of the week for tonight. Richmond Bramblett and I will be right back to wrap it up here on Tuesday Night Live.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Beautiful is the only way I could describe Roanoke's campus. The Blue Ridge Mountains offer a breathtaking backdrop to historic brick buildings and sprawling walkways. From the moment you step on campus, you can't help but notice Roanoke's friendly atmosphere. The cozy layout of campus encourages a tight-knit sense of community. Walking from my dorm to class takes no more than a few minutes, so getting places is never a hassle in any weather. The traditional architecture of the buildings and arrangement of campus around 2 main quads gives Roanoke a classic college feel. During any time of year, you can find students hanging out on campus. Roanoke is so comforting and welcoming that it's virtually impossible not to feel at home here. My favorite place on campus is the bench under the bell tower because it's a great place to relax or read a book.
I love the campus here at Roanoke. When I first visited, it felt right to me. It's the way I picture college in my mind. There are lots of classic-looking buildings with big columns, brick paths, and lots of big, old trees. I like the way the older buildings convey a sense of history, and the newer buildings reflect that style, but are more modern. My favorite spot on campus is the front quad in front of the admin building because I really enjoy the open spaces here. During the warmer months, everyone is outside studying, throwing a football around, or just hanging out.
And you go. Oh, welcome back to Tuesday Night Live. Good to see you again so soon. Now, I'm joined by Richard Bramblett. Richmond, excuse me. I know I've been doing it all day.
That's okay.
I'm a little slow.
That's okay. My dad called me Richard for 10 years. It's all right.
All right.
Purposely.
Now, you come to us from Transylvania, where you spent a lot of time, and I've ended up here in the Roanoke Valley, coming up to help Brad Moore out in the Sports Information Office, giving me a hand behind the mic. What exactly did you do at Transylvania, and how'd you end up here in the Roanoke Valley?
I wore a lot of hats at Transylvania. I was the assistant sports information director. I was diving coach. At one point, I was the assistant field hockey coach.
Do you know much about field hockey?
I know a little. I watched about every game for 6 years leading up to that. So I felt like I had a base knowledge. I felt as though I had enough to kind of handle myself on the field. And then, helping run buildings, the athletic center at Transy for a little while. So a little bit of everything.
Now, what are your degrees in that you got while you were at Transylvania?
I majored in business and got a minor in communications, and then I went on 2 years later to go to Eastern Kentucky University and get my master's in sports administration.
Now, how did you end up here in the Roanoke general area?
Had a really good opportunity. My girlfriend got into med school at Virginia Tech at VCOM. And I had been at Transylvania for 7 years. I was there 4 years as a student, 3 years as an employee, and I just need to get away. Maybe I'll go back someday, but I needed to get away, and it was just a great opportunity to come here. Brad's been great in working for the athletic department here. Just getting everything, just getting a chance to have my hands on a little bit of everything, and do this, which I've always wanted to do.
Now, you've been at Roanoke, been coming here for a couple of months now, working in the athletic communications office. What do you like about the campus here in Salem, maybe that Transylvania didn't offer?
It is a beautiful campus, and it's bigger. At Transylvania,
that's scary that Roanoke is bigger than the school. That's not something we hear often.
We had about 1,200 students, but we were confined to about two city blocks in downtown Lexington. And here in just the area in general, you have just so much open space and so much, just a lot of beautiful campus that you can kind of walk around and not be on the other side of campus in 30 seconds. But
7 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, give or take. But it's just more wide open, and again, working in the athletic department and Brad, and having a place like here at Mac and Bob's where you can run by. I did a business policy course at Transylvania, and I had an idea for a place that was this exact distance from Mac and Bob's to campus, from Transylvania to campus, run by someone who went to the school, and just kind of having it kind of be the heart of athletics and just kind of a great place to hang out. So there's been a lot that's really been nice about being here.
Well, welcome to Roanoke.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure
Glad
to have you here as we're going through our first of many shows to come. Let's take a look ahead real quick as field hockey opens the season at 4 o'clock this Thursday at Donald J. Kerr Stadium, taking on Limestone. Men's soccer hosting their season opening tournament this weekend, the 20th annual Roanoke Invitational. Friday night taking on Richard Stockton at 7:30. Our first Fridays on the Quad. If you like Mac and Bob's, wait for Fridays on the Quad. Nothing against Mac and Bob's, but always love an FOTQ.
I've heard FOTQ's the place to be.
Oh, absolutely. Come get a meal, watch the soccer game. FOTQ down on the athletic quad by the Bass Center and Kerr Stadium. Saturday, the men back in action again at 7:30, taking on Emory University in the final game of the men's soccer 20th annual Roanoke Invitational. Women's soccer will open the season on Saturday and Sunday in Lynchburg at Schellenberger Field as part of the Schellenberger Classic, and volleyball starting their season in Averett in the Averett Invitational this weekend. Now, Richard, for those of us not watching online or here at Mac and Bob's, Valley Vision TV, the new place to go.
Absolutely. They have joined on with us this year, and we'll be able to have our shows online with them, I think, tomorrow. Tomorrow will be online, so you'll be able to get on that, and it'll be on as well as television as well.
be on Valley Vision TV, Channel 7, here in the Roanoke Valley. That's all we have for you tonight. The season opener of Tuesday Night Live. We'll be back with you 2 weeks from tonight, right back here at Mac and Bob's. Come on down and see it live. Watch online at maroons.roanoke.edu or on Valley Vision TV. For Richmond Bramblett, I'm Nick DeSanctis. Reed Hall has been our technical director. Sports Information Director Brad Moore, the AD, is Scott Allison. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Nice block by Nikki Moat. She smothers that one. Webb for three from the corner. It's pure. Sydney Webb nailing the three.